I used to watch it.
I heard Eli was a trainer on that show.
Yeah, well, he is a diva.
Is that we're gonna start our show talking about Total Divas?
I love you.
Well, we have the posters here.
Yeah,
I love you, Eli.
How could I not bring it up?
Anyways, welcome to another episode of the Wrestling Guy podcast.
Let's hope people are watching. Fucking Douglas James had to put on Facebook. Don't listen. Damn you, Douglas James. No wonder you're not in the Cruiserweight Classics. All those pizza you be eating.
Oh.
I'm taking a shot.
That's my travel buddy. So,
You're teaching him Spanish now, right?
teaching him Spanish. He learned how to say pinche puto.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's not the right things to teach, man.
You taught him how to say chupa mi verga.
Well, Douglas, hey, Douglas, if you're watching, you know, we got no hard feelings. No hard feelings.
No.
Yeah, I know. He could take a joke, unlike some people I know.
Well, before we bring on our guest, let me give a couple plugs here. Tomorrow, June 24th, right? Jeez,
Yeah.
I'm lost. We have a big signing with the Lucha Underground guys, with Worldwide Underground. We have Taya, Johnny Mundo, PJ Black, Jack Evans, was just added.
Oh, is that? All right, cool.
So all four of them will be here. I know everybody keeps saying, "Oh, I can get them at Lucha Underground." You could get them at Lucha Underground, but not together. That's the
Nah,
thing.
together.
You'll never get all four of them together. It's very
And in gimmick, too.
and
so,
in gimmicks. So.
Yeah.
So you can start getting your guitars out.
But I mean, like, it's always the same fucking dumbasses that get the pictures at Lucha Underground. Like, I see the same fucking group of idiots.
Plus, I heard they're not allowing people to get signed.
Nah, I don't
signed
think they
anymore.
are. Which is a good idea, too, because, I mean, it's cool to get a picture from someone like a la Stockholm mode, like this guy.
What?
You know? But it's like...
He was doing research for the Wrestling Guy store.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? Good thing about Lucha Underground, they're doing you a favor. So you want autographs, go to the Wrestling Guy store.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but
They're doing you a favor.
I think it's a much better. Like, I've had the Katrinas, but I never had, like, Mil Muertes and Katrinas.
Yeah.
One of those things you can't get.
That's what I'm telling people, but we'll see what happens. There might be another signing after that one, that same night, tomorrow night.
Oh,
Really?
really?
9/11. Maybe your favorite girl might be here at 9 o'clock at night.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
Nobody wants
But we don't know yet.
Nobody wants a picture with her.
And then on July 16th,
You fucked
We'll
up.
have-
You fucked
yeah,
up.
I did. July 16th, we'll have Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes.
See, that's
Eden.
that's where your money's worth right there, right here on Cody Rhodes.
Yes. And also, don't forget, if you donate $5 or more, this from now until probably next week or 2 weeks, we'll have the you get a Total Divas mini poster. With Eli's favorite diva.
Eva Marie.
Well, yeah, he trained her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell.
And you get one of these big size posters for if you donate $20 or more. It has the Bellas on it with Naomi. I forgot her name now.
And it could be signed by the
Like
butcher
looking
if you
at
want it.
Ariana and
I actually like looking at this
Natalia.
poster now.
Really?
Damn.
yeah.
You like girls then?
I like women.
Oh.
Anyways, and also before we introduce our guests, you were in the hot tub yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep.
How was that? You survived.
I don't know. I think I got a disease now.
Were you his first
I don't
kiss?
Huh?
Were you his first kiss?
Nah, I'm already third.
Damn.
Anyway,
Someone beat you to the punch.
we got a very special guest today. I'll let you do. Wait, I got my button here that's gonna let Butcher introduce him. Let me hit my button right here. Let's see if I can get it working.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Wrestling Guy store, well, please welcome Fidel Bravo!
Bravo.
Let's see if I can get this damn. I think it's on my sound thing with along with the Fuck the Butcher, but
The fuck the butcher.
how you doing?
How's it going, guys? Thanks
How
for
you
having me. Thanks for having me.
How was the drive over here?
It was good. I don't live too far from here, so
Oh, okay.
it's pretty fast.
Awesome.
Didn't get too much traffic.
A little nervous sitting next to this guy, the heat magnet.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, heat, STD, whatever you want to call it.
Damn.
This is your first podcast, so we're gonna
First podcast ever.
we're gonna pop the podcast cherry today.
Oh, I feel like a Catholic priest now.
Yeah. So go ahead. I'm gonna let you. You've been wanting to ask him questions.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you.
You mean all those
throw
other
the
questions I've already
first-
asked?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you throw out the first question.
So anyway, you said you grew up in West Covina, right?
Grew up in West Covina.
So that's what immediately made you go train with Jesse at EWF, or would you start training originally?
Yeah, that's pretty much.
And you
the
could come
reason.
closer that way. The
Oh, my bad.
camera.
That's pretty much the reason why, because I had started watching wrestling for a long time, and of course I always wanted to do it, but I never knew how you could go about it.
Yeah.
And one day we were at Walmart, and there was flyers there for a wrestling show in Covina. Hey, I live in West Covina, I could go and watch. And while we were watching, that's when they announced we have the School of Hard Knocks in San Bernardino, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm there.
How old are you?
When I started training with
Yeah.
Jesse, my first training session, I was 14 years old.
14 years old. Damn.
Talk about commitment.
Was it,
14 years old.
Did reality hit you on as soon as you stepped in that ring and said, "Fuck"?
Yeah,
This is
definitely.
not WWE.
Well, it wasn't like that for me. It just became. I realized how much more harder it's gonna be than I imagined it, because I'd see like guys on TV do it like and make it look so easy, and guys on the indies make it look so easy. Before I started, I was like, I'm gonna do a 630 every match. I'm gonna do a shooting star. And as soon as I stepped in the ring, I was like, okay, I could barely do a forward roll. I could do half a back roll. So I was like, all right, this is gonna be a lot harder than I thought it would.
What was the hardest part of training when you first started? Like, what was it that made you realize, like, besides that, what you said, but like, you know, made you maybe, let's say, like, you know, this is not what I imagined it to be.
Well, I mean, like, I'm starting out. I never really felt that way. Like, it's not what I imagined it to be. Because, like, when I walked into Jesse's, it was kind of what I imagined what a wrestling school would be like this dungeon-looking place with a bunch of old lucha flyers and masks on the walls. So it was really exciting to me. But just like definitely the beatings I'd take on my body were pretty tough to handle at first, because I had been in amateur wrestling and school wrestling in 6th and 7th grade. But once I went to Jesse's and did that, it was like, wow, this is a lot more painful than I thought it was going to be. Just hitting the ropes was something that I had to get really used to.
Did your parents kind of get scared when you told them?
Oh, my mom still gets scared. My mom still gets scared.
Later.
My grandma too. They're like, whenever, like, yeah, they're always like, nah, like, I don't know if you should be doing that. Like, nah, Mom, I have to be doing this. Like, okay, but only if you really like it. I mean, they're always terrified, and my dad too. Whenever the first show I went to, someone threw me out the ring, and he went to go and try to catch me. So I mean, they're really protective, but like I love them so much because they've been supportive since day one. They've never told me that I should quit or that I shouldn't be doing it or anything. My mom especially has been behind my back the whole entire time.
That's good.
Yeah.
Right. Besides Jesse Hernandez, who in over there you're training give you a lot of advice?
Mainly the guys that brought me up were guys like he's not around anymore, but Bino Gambino taught me a lot as I was coming up. Brandon Gatson taught me a lot as I was coming up, and Vermin's Ryan Taylor taught me a lot as I was coming up too.
Yeah.
They were probably like the main guys at Jesse's that like fine-tuned my training there.
Does he still like help out in a way?
Yeah, they still show. Both of them still show. Who? Wait, Jesse or?
Ryan.
Yeah, he still shows up from time to time. He's a pretty busy guy, so he's not there all the time. But he still shows up to hop off the students.
Yeah, he's so busy, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because I remember you kept telling me to go to EWF show, and then you kept pointing out that guy trained at EWF, that guy trained at EWF.
Yeah.
So you guys had a lot of big names coming out of there, right?
Yeah, and even if like the guys didn't train with us, there's a lot of guys that may have had their first couple matches with us, or even just traveled and had a few matches with us. I mean, Joey Ryan had one of his first matches at EWF, but a lot of people don't know that. And guys.
There's a lot of wrestlers. Sorry to cut you off. There's a lot of wrestlers, even like big names like Frankie Kazarian has history with EWF.
Frankie Kazarian, a lot of guys that are like in the Cruiserweight Classic right now, like Damian Slater, he wrestled at EWF. In NXT,
I also believe Lucha Underground's own Cortez Castro.
Exactly. Ricky Reyes, he got his start there. Him and Rocky Romero were the Havana Pitbulls. Yep. They were on the main event, the first show I attended at EWF. It was the Havana Pitbulls versus Los Chivos.
Yeah.
It's Chivos.
Yep.
And they call themselves every name possible, don't they?
You never seen Los Chivos?
No,
The black and white.
No.
I mean, black and yellow.
Black and gold.
Yeah,
No.
they're pretty cool. Fine.
Yeah, we have an
Oh,
audience.
I know who it is.
We have an
now.
audience out
We
here.
have an audience.
I like the guy
I
with
just
Star-
thought
it's
about who
Conan.
it is.
I like the guy with a Star Trek shirt, by the way.
Now, who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
It was honestly like Tajiri. I mean, Eddie Guerrero, I've got to say, like, became my favorite as I became older. But when I first started watching, like, I'd see like these huge guys and be like, oh, like, they're like, I can't do what they do. I can't throw people across the room. But when I'd see like Tajiri wrestle and you just like throw all these wild kicks and jump all over the place, it'd be like, wow, I want to be like that guy. Just kick people's heads off no matter how big they are.
Like WWE Tajiri or like ECW Tajiri?
The WWE Tajiri. I actually started watching wrestling really, really late. Like when Rey Mysterio barely debuted at WWE was when I started watching the revamped cruiserweights, I guess.
Yeah, the beginning of the brand injection, the original
Yeah,
brand injection.
yeah.
Now they're having a new one coming out next month.
Yeah.
So what do you think of Tajiri joining the Cruiserweight Classic?
Oh, I'm very excited about that. It's really awesome. Like I thought, as soon as I
That's like
didn't
a
even know
wet
until
Yeah.
I didn't even know until a couple days ago, and I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I remember he was in TNA about a year ago, and I was like, "What? Tajiri's in TNA?"
Oh, I didn't even
Yeah,
know
sure,
that.
yeah,
That's
sure,
awesome.
he's in there, yeah.
He was in TNA?
But what? Like, yeah,
it
a little
wasn't.
bit.
Yeah, it wasn't a long stint.
I started watching TNA. I was like, "Oh shit." Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you've trained with Jesse and EWF, and where else have you trained also? Because I know a lot of guys trained at more than one school.
Yeah, well, when I was 18, when I graduated high school, I got invited by a Mexicali wrestler who he doesn't wrestle anymore, but his name was American Rebel, and I got invited to Mexicali for a few months, and I lived over there and trained lucha and wrestled all day on the weekends.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so that was right when I turned 18, and I've mostly been at Jesse's, and just recently I just started training with Brian Kendrick, and he's been extremely kind to me and really been teaching me a lot and helping me fine tune everything.
You see, you're training with Brian Kendrick, but he's still doing all the training in Santino's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we saw in Total.
Who isn't Kendrick right
Yeah.
now at Orlando?
He's in Orlando?
Yeah, right now he's in
Oh,
Orlando,
yeah,
but
okay,
he's
yeah,
he's
he's
been
doing the classic
because he's
as
part of
well.
the Cruiserweight Classic as well.
Damn.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Like,
All you guys see those people who are at the show right now. I know there are people putting out spoilers on social media. You guys are lucky. That's all I'm gonna say.
They shouldn't be putting up spoilers because then
They're
you
gonna
won't
put spoilers
enjoy it.
anyways.
Yeah, they won't.
Just stay away from
they won't
Twitter
enjoy
then.
the show. Now, who was your first opponent when you started wrestling on the?
Well, the first time I wrestled was in a battle royal. Actually, it was the 12th anniversary, 12th or 11th anniversary of EWF, and I was in the Great Goliath Battle Royal. And at first, I only did at EWF only like little battle royal type things, but I didn't have my first real match until I wrestled in Mexicali. I was in a 6-man match. It was me, Crazy Azteca, and Ray Cobra versus Chris Cadillac.
Cadillac.
Yeah, Chris Cadillac, good friend of mine.
before the green hair?
Yep. Principe Negro, and I want to say the third guy was Excalibur. I think the third guy was Excalibur.
Now they're a little more stiff in Mexico, right?
Yeah, it was definitely like wow, because I had just had the battle royal matches at Jesse's, and this was the same guy that invited me to train over there. He's like, hey, I have a match, like I need you over here, let's do it. And I was like, all right, let's go. And I learned a lot over there because I definitely got my ass kicked over there.
How long after you started training did you have your first match?
I trained for a long time actually. I think maybe for my age, Jesse kind of like held me back a bit. But I trained for like a good year and a half before I had my first match.
Really?
Yeah.
So now when you see these guys training 2 months, 3 months,
it's really surprising to me and just like wow, like I wish that's how it was for me because I was like begging to have my first match. Like, nah. But when it finally happened, I knew why I waited, and it was like worth the wait. Cause I think it was an awesome match.
Yeah,
you know?
because I actually know people who are getting trained at the Santino dojo. Even though the people are like say they're over 18, they still takes them a while to get like their first match.
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
said right now, so it takes them like at least a year and a half or so.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah.
So when you wrestle somebody though that doesn't have that experience, maybe like they're fresh out of training, do you get a little more nervous working with them or?
Not really, because thankfully, I think Jesse trained me in the best way to protect myself against in situations like that. And I've been wrestling 9 years now, and I haven't had any serious injuries. I mean, I've gotten knocked out, like twisted ankle, little things here and there, but I've never had anything that put me out of commission for more than a month.
Oh,
So I'm extremely thankful for that.
That's good.
Yeah.
But is it scary wrestling somebody like that? Maybe. Let's say like if I'm out of wrestling school for 2 months, and they tell you, hey, this is his first match,
Or like
he's
the
fresh out
Butcher,
2 months, or like the Butcher. Where is Butcher? But let's say like somebody's out of school for 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, cause I feel like I'm kind of used to it, cause I help Jesse train the people at the school, so I work with people with not that much experience a lot, so I'm pretty used to knowing how to protect myself and the other person in that situation.
Now, when did you know you were finally a name out here in SoCal? Or do you still don't feel like
I
it?
don't think I'm a name.
Really? Because your Facebook post, every wrestler seemed like everybody was making a comment. You had Limelight, you had Mariachi, you had
He's the swole shit talking machine.
James. I mean, you had everybody.
I mean, yeah, it's true, I guess, but I mean, I don't really consider myself a name. There's so many other people that have done so much more than me in the time I've been wrestling, so I don't think I'm a name just yet. I'm just another SoCal wrestler.
What was your first name when you started off?
Freddie Bravo.
Freddie.
America's greatest hero, Freddie Bravo.
You were the Kurt Angle?
Pretty much. And I was like the Mexican Kurt Angle, and when I had the first match was in Mexicali, so it kind of worked better over there. And my first match in America, on American soil, was for the EWF AWS joint show. They teamed me up with Roger Reese and Devon Willis versus Liger Rivera and the Young Bucks in the first match. So that was my debut on American soil.
And how did the fans take you? Well, let me ask you this. How did they take you in Mexicali as this Kurt Angle?
Of course, they hated me, you know. They
Of course,
booed me,
yeah.
They booed me, you know. They threw stuff at me. I even made a little shield in my woodshop class. 'Cause I was still in high school at the time. I'd bring it up to block everything that they throw at me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did it
so-
scare you being so young though? Like,
Yeah, honestly, yeah, but it just felt alright that I knew friends there that had my back just in case anything happened. But it was a pretty terrifying experience, especially not having family around. Like, if something happens, something can happen. You know? I could die tonight.
okay, now when you come back to the U.S. and wrestle here, how did it feel?
It felt good, you know. It felt really good to be able to wrestle at home, you know, because I went all the way to Mexico to have my first technical match, but getting do more matches over here felt really awesome. More of my friends and family to see me and stuff.
How did they take you over here?
I mean, you know, they booed me over here. I mean,
You just can't find.
I was really rambunctious, you know. So I was booed over here.
You just can't get a win-win. Huh?
Nope.
Yeah, you
So
just can't.
how long did you go by Freddie?
I went by Freddie for, I want to say a good 6 years, 5-6 years around there, because it's only been. I recently just started wrestling under my real name, Fidel, a few years
With
ago.
the Revolution.
With the Revolution,
Yeah.
when I first joined the Revolution was when.
Because you actually came out at PWG, right?
Yeah, I wrestled at PWG,
Yeah, you did.
but
That's
that was Freddie Bravo.
Yeah, before we went on there, I totally forgot about that. Like, oh yeah, it was pretty Bravo, you know.
Yep.
You were actually
PWG star, everybody.
PWG star right here.
I was on the biggest show of the year, PWG Steam Wolf, first match, still on YouTube.
Probably, yeah. So I was asking about that. How was it like working for PWG?
Oh wow, that's still one of the most memorable experience I have in wrestling, because it was just something I didn't really ever expect to happen. You know, when I started wrestling and as I was coming up and everything, I'd see the videos and oh man, it'd be awesome to wrestle there. But I never really imagined getting my shot there, and out of the blue one day I got a text like, hey, you're in, and wow, and
Like that, huh?
and I got a debut along Peter Avalon had wrestled there already, but Ray Rosas had his debut there, and all three of us teamed up. and it was Chris Cadillac, who was also debuting, and Famous B, who was also debuting, teaming up with Candice LeRae. And I knew Candice from EWS school because she was around when I first started too.
Yeah.
And you know, it was an awesome match. Like it's one of the most memorable matches in my life.
Yeah, and then
It was like wrestling in front of a pack of lions.
yeah, and going backstage at PWG, going back into now, look where it kind of evolved.
Yeah, I mean that's a story I like to tell people all the time. I mean the main event of that show was Kevin Steen versus El Generico for the PWG heavyweight title. And where are they both now?
You know what? I actually saw those guys this weekend at the WWE house show wrestling against each other.
Yeah, see, so they came a long way. So
yeah, I know. Backstage, and you see all those big names that are at now. That could be some crazy experience back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So anyways, so after Freddie Bravo and everything became Fidel Bravo, you joined the Revolution. So did you debut at Championship Wrestling like that, or was it?
Yeah, it's Championship Wrestling from Hollywood was where I wrestled as Fidel Bravo for the first time.
How was that? How was working with Che and Sasha?
Oh, I loved my time with the Revolution. I feel like we were pretty randomly paired up, and no one really imagined it to end up working that good. But I feel like we all connected off the bat, and all of our matches, we worked as a pretty cohesive unit. And I feel like the crowd got behind us pretty quickly, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I used to love you guys.
I used to go to the shows too. They're like, Eric was all over you guys.
Especially because you had the cool handlebar mustache.
You know, it's when I interviewed Che before, and I talked about the group, and then I was telling Che, you know what? You guys, your group reminded me of this band I used to be in. That we were all Latinos. I was representing El Salvador, so I also got some Mexican in me.
Yeah.
So my band was like, don't say you're Mexican, you're Salvadorian, okay? But the drummer was Mexican, the guitar player was Cuban, the singer was Guatemalan. We were trying to do something like that.
Yeah.
And then when you guys formed that group, like, hey, remember that band I was in?
Yeah, it's pretty similar. But yeah, I mean, I love being with them. They're both hell wrestlers. Che Cabrera is still tearing it up with Hate now. That's an incredible group going, and Sasha has been tearing it up in Championship Hollywood. So. I mean, I was honored to have spent my time with them the way it was, and I still team up with Sasha from time to time. And even though we don't team up all the time, every time we team up, we're a deadly force.
Yeah.
Every time we tear it up, and we've never disappointed. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. So you did all that, right? And where did you see yourself going after that? Like, what companies have you been looking at to try to work for, or anything like that?
After I was wrestling at Championship.
Yeah.
Well, I was hoping to get into Lucha Underground, and you know, I mean, what everyone wants, you know, TNA, WWE, everything.
So any luck with that? Any?
No, I mean, for a while after my time from Hollywood, I kind of stuff kind of slowed down for me. And just
this is before the swollenness, right?
Yeah, before the swollenness. There's a story that led to the swollenness. After my time at Hollywood, just I can't really pinpoint when it happened, but I just kind of started losing my love. I can't really say just for wrestling, but kind of for everything. You know, I started kind of letting my body go. I started I stopped caring about a lot of things. I stopped training. I stopped going to the gym. I started treating people that really cared about me wrong. And I lost people that really loved me. I drove them away because of the bad person I was being. And at that time, my sister, she announced to the family that she was going to have a baby. And a few months after she found out, she let everybody know that the doctors had found that the baby was born with a hole in her heart, a heart murmur, and that she had been diagnosed with Down syndrome. And when I had heard about that, I felt really sad for my sister. I had no idea how she could be feeling or anything, but it was pretty amazing because when I saw her after she had told us, she wasn't sad. She seemed ready, like a soldier. I heard they joined groups on Facebook to get them ready for stuff that was happening, and she was just like I'm here for her. I don't care what she has. I'm here for her. And at the time, I was still kind of lost in my life. Like I said, I was just I was just kind of stagnant. I wasn't really trying anything. And came the time when Millie was born. That's her name, Millie Normandy, Millicent Normandy. And she had to be in the hospital for like a month after she was born because they thought they were gonna have to give her the heart surgery as soon as she was born. But thank God they were able to wait a while. So I'd go visit her, and I don't know, like the first time I saw her, like I felt like she was already going through more than like I'll ever go through, you know, because she was born with like this like rash on her face, and of course with the heart murmur and everything. And when I visited her, like I said, I was in a dark place where I felt alone all the time. And when I'd sit in there with her, like I felt like she was keeping me company. I wasn't keeping her company. And most of the time, she was quiet when I was in there. But one time when I went really late at night, like I just kind of heard her like giggle, you know. And I looked, and she was smiling. She was like asleep, but she was smiling, and it kind of made me laugh because I was just like, look at this girl that like she has a hole in her heart, and she's like laughing in her sleep, and I'm here beating myself up about being dumb, pretty much, you know. And that's when, like I said, when I was in that dark place, I was thinking about like leaving wrestling. I was in a bitter place. I was like, nothing I do matters. I've been wrestling forever and I haven't got anywhere. But then I looked back at myself and I said, have I really not done anything? And that's not true because I've wrestled guys that are in big places right now. I've wrestled Damian Slater, who's in the Cruiserweight Classic right now. I've wrestled NWA champion Adam Pearce. I've wrestled a lot of people, and no one's ever told me I was a bad wrestler, and I've never been told I was bad at what I do. And I look back, and I was like, did I try my hardest every time? No. I didn't go to training all I could. I didn't eat the best I could. I wasn't going to the gym as much as I could. I wasn't taking care of my body. So that's when it kind of hit me, where it was like, if this little girl can sit here and smile through a hole in her heart, like why can't I smile through little obstacles life is throwing at me? And how I mentioned before, my family's always been so supportive of me. Like from day one, my mom, she took me to a lucha show when I was young in Mexico, and I snuck into the ring when the show was over, and I started shaking from how happy I was from being in there. And I got out, and she was like, "Damn, he's gonna be a wrestler." She tells everybody that story, and every time I hear her tell that story, I pretend like I'm not listening, but I'm always just like, because I love hearing her tell it. And I was like, my family hasn't supported me through this, and hasn't put all this love and effort into me for me to just hang it up and give up without giving my hardest. So that's why I was just like, I need to stop messing around, and if this is what I want, this is what I want. So since then, I started eating way better. Every month, I'm adding a new supplement to my regime, and I'm asking people for advice. I've been wrestling a lot more this year than I ever have been, and since I started working out, I've gained 20 pounds of pure muscle, not fat.
I'll give you some advice for that.
Right there. Body guy crew.
There's a difference.
Buggy Hammerstone.
If you want some fat, I'll give you some of mine.
So like, and then as all this was happening, my sister let me know that she had decided that she wanted me to be Millie's godfather, and for her baptism. And when we baptized her, and they gave her me and they let me hold her in my hands after, I just started crying because I felt like a superhero. Because I felt like since she's my responsibility, since I know that I have to take care of her no matter what, there's nothing that's gonna stop me.
That's when you started your hashtag, right? Do it for her.
Do it for her. Do it
How
for
is she
her.
doing now?
She's doing great. Like I said, she ended up having to get the heart surgery when she was 6 months old, and I announced it on Facebook. And thank you to everybody. Everyone was very supportive and sending their prayers and sending me calls and texts and just hoping that she was okay. And she came out of the surgery great. The day, like I said in the hospital, when I went to visit her the day after her surgery, she was just laying in her bed, like, what's going on? Like, why is everyone staring at me? Like, she didn't even know she had heart surgery. And then now that when I see her, my sister says that she's been a lot happier since before the surgery, and she's been eating and gaining weight. And it's just so incredible because, like, the doctors were saying that she had to be in the hospital for at least a week, and she was there for 5 days. And, like, when she was born, they said that she was gonna have to have a surgery within a month, and she told them to wait 6 months. So that's why she's been like my little hero. She's been my little inspiration. Like, she's already been through so much more than I've ever been through, and that's why I like want to make sure she never has to go through anything else. You know.
When are we gonna see her at a show with you?
When she's old enough, you know, she's still recovering, but she's actually went and seen me wrestle before.
Oh, did she?
She's seen me at EWF when I wrestled Tirade, like a few weeks before her surgery. So
I'm sure you were busting your ass even harder, weren't
you?
you?
Yeah, I was a little surprised too, because my sister texted me, and I didn't see it until right before I went out. I was like, oh wow, they're here, and I got all happy.
How much easier is it to wrestle when you have that much support from your family? I mean, how much easier do you feel secure now knowing, even after everything, that you've made the right decision to keep going and all that?
It's awesome, you know. Like I said, like I feel bad because I have friends who wrestle who tell me that their parents tell them how much they hate it and this and that, and it's just like it tears me up, you know, because like my mom's never told me to quit. Like, when I told her I was thinking about quitting, she's the one that told me to ask myself, like, are you trying as hard as you want? Like, do you really want to quit, or are you just saying that because you're sad, you know? And you know, like the support from my family is a lot of people have been saying I'm an inspiration, and I kind of don't see that because I haven't done much, you know. And I say the inspiration here is my family, because I don't see many people with a family like mine that they can go through so much, but no matter what happens, we're always stuck together like a chain, and we stick with each other no matter what. Me and all my sisters got this tattoo.
Oh.
Me and all my sisters got this tattoo. Bravo, I'm 5 out of 6.
Man. So 6 of you guys?
6. I have
Nice.
5 sisters.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they all have them like in their back.
Yeah, they have them on the shoulder, but I got mine right
So you
here.
must be very respectful to the ladies.
Yeah,
Right.
I try to be, you know.
So when you go out on the dates and everything, well, you're not married, right?
No.
So when you go out, I was ready to get them divorced.
You have a girlfriend.
You have a girlfriend?
No.
Well, when you go out with the
I'm
date,
kind of talking to
How about
somebody right now.
girlfriends?
No,
That's
girlfriends.
what I do.
I'm kind of talking to somebody right now
Oh,
who's also helped me out a lot. Thanks for her, because she's been awesome.
so do you go to your sisters for advice before you
Yeah.
date somebody or?
Sometimes, you know, I've definitely have gone to them with girl advice in the past, and they're always there. And they're crazy, you know. All girls are crazy. I'm surprised I made it out alive.
I'm gonna ask you the perverted question, because I know Butcher told you I asked the perverted question.
Yeah, but
All right, here it goes.
Yeah,
What's
I'll
the-
like-
No, this one's not that bad, but no. When because you're the 5th, right, out of the 6.
Yeah.
So when your sisters would bring the girlfriends over to the house,
Would
were
you
would you be peeping or during the sleepovers or?
Yeah, I don't remember when I was too young, but I definitely remember like at parties when they'd all start dancing, I'd be like, you know,
How many times did you ask your sister, hey, can you hook me up with that girl right there?
never. They're mean. They never do that. They didn't even bother. They'd probably be like, all right, and just embarrass me instead.
So you're like Bud Bundy and Married with Children?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, kind of.
You gotta talk to Ed, man. He's the ladies' man over here. Look at him. He's a hoe over here. He can throw. No, not really. You don't want to.
No.
No, I'm not. You don't want to.
Anyways,
Yeah,
so speaking of,
Yeah, go ahead.
you're doing more shows now. What upcoming shows do you have coming up?
well, I've got EWF on July 1st, which is going to be in Covina. I'm going to be taking on one of our new students, actually, who just debuted last month, I believe, the amazing Super Beetle.
Oh.
This is the dancing Super Beetle.
Oh, when I got a friend request from a Super Beetle.
Yeah, the Super Beetle. He's, you know, I gotta say, like, he's a pretty promising young talent for only wrestling twice. He won a battle royal and only his second time being in the ring. So I mean that impressed me because it took me like 9 years to win a battle royal. So I mean I haven't even won a battle royal
See,
yet.
if
So.
Butcher was here today, I'd ask him when he's gonna win his first battle royal. But
But he does a bushwhacker Luke.
Yeah. But even though I won't be at all of them, but EWF has a few shows coming up. Also July 2nd in San Bernardino, and July 23rd in Baldwin Park, and they're going to be having an international TV show, I believe, from Switzerland, filming stuff going on at the show that day. Yeah, I'm not allowed to say exactly who or what's involved, but international TV show, EWF, July 23rd, Baldwin Park.
So you're gonna be an international star.
I won't be there that day, unfortunately.
Wait a minute, how are you not part of this?
Yeah, I mean,
you can get a new Swiss girlfriend.
Yeah,
I know.
I should have been, huh?
They should
I should have.
who's the real Swiss?
My dad told me a lot about Swiss girls. But no, I have prior commitments that day, but it should be a lot of fun that day. So anyone that can make it out should.
I remember he kept telling me to go to EWF, and when I finally went, like it's very family friendly, right?
Yeah.
It's totally, but they serve alcohol, so I mean that works for me. But, I thought it was family friendly. I've never seen that many kids on an American pro wrestling show. At Lucha shows, you always see the kids, but I've never seen that many at that type of show.
Yeah.
So how is it working for like a real family friendly show as opposed to like all the other shows?
I like it. You know, I feel like EWF is the best place I could have came up in, not only because of all the talent that they've put out and the great teachers that they have there, but because of the crowds. Like you said, it's a very family friendly crowd, so it's not like a lot of shows where you can go out and if you're trying to get the crowd to hate you, you come out and you say, "Oh, fuck you," because you know, like everyone can get people to hate you if you do that. But at EWF, if you do that, you'll never wrestle again. You know, so you had to come up with like ways to make people hate you without cussing them out or without being a vulgar human being.
Yeah, because I remember going there and I was saying bad words and like people were looking at me. And I'm like, you know what?
Everybody says bad words.
I'm like, you know what? I'll give a fuck. And I just kept saying it. But I did like Scorpio Sky and
Frank Kazarian. They put on a clinic that day.
Also Andy Brown and Man in Black.
Andy Brown and Man in Black.
I heard Andy Brown's the man to look out for too for me.
Yeah, Andy Brown's one of the very promising young talent.
That's why I wish he would be booked in a lot of more places because he has such good matches. I don't think I've ever seen a match where I'm like,
he could probably have done more AWS if AWS was in the state area right now.
So how do you feel about that? Like, you know, I know you wrestle for AWS every now and then. How do you feel like a company like that not being around?
It sucks, you know, because AWS was an awesome place to wrestle for, and I had just gotten to really start wrestling for them in the last couple of months that they shut down. So I had been with them probably like 6 months when they announced the shutdown, and it really tore me up because, especially right now, if you look around the SoCal scene, there isn't too many places running. There's a EWF, SoCal Pro, UEW, FCW, Lucha LWP, UIPW.
Those are the only constant. But there's a couple others that do shows every 2-3 months.
Yeah, but like if you look like
OCCW,
last year,
right?
OCCW they just came up on. MPW just started running shows too. So right now it's kind of not so bad because a few like OCCW and MPW just started up. So there's like more places going around. But like last year it was pretty booming with AWS and Santino's running constantly too.
IWL.
Yeah,
And IWL.
now you have in this area, you have nothing really.
Oh, I forgot. New one just came out, PCW.
Yeah.
Oh, PCW. How could I forget them? They're
And
big ones
I live like
coming
right
up.
by this thing.
They're big ones
That
coming
to
up.
me is the show to go to on the real. Like,
Yeah, I've heard
I can't
great
talk
things. I've
nothing
heard great
bad about
things about them
PCW.
there.
Well, maybe they don't have a bar.
Oh, they don't?
Hey,
A
leave
family
Mikey
friendly
alone.
show.
Leave
It's
Mikey
not a gym.
alone.
Really?
But yeah, me and Mikey are supposed to get bruised soon. So we're gonna make David drink. Not a Bud Light this time.
Are we gonna see you on a PCW show? Would you like to work for PCW?
Yeah, hopefully. You know, I'd like to work for there. They have that tryout thing going on, so I'm gonna try to be a part of that and try to weasel my way in there like I've been weaseling my way at other places. You know.
Mr. Mikey Freedom.
Now, when somebody books you for a show, how do you decide if you want to work for them or not? Or do you just take your chance and say yes to everybody? Like yes to everybody.
I mean, like I haven't got hit up by any shady promoters. Like I haven't got contacted by Mr. California.
What is up?
Sorry, bro. I haven't met you, but I've heard a lot of bad
Somebody
things.
please tell me about Mr. California.
I've just heard a lot of bad things.
If you think I have a bad rep of being drunk and doing all that stuff, he has the worst rep when it comes to his wrestling. Is the way he is, the fact that he doesn't pay people, the fact that his show draws like 5 people at most.
So let's say he does hit you up tomorrow, and he says, "Hey, Fidel, I love the way you wrestle, and I want you on our next show."
Thanks, but no thanks. Have a great day, sir.
So you wouldn't give him a chance
No,
whatsoever.
I wouldn't.
Just
I
because of
don't think I
reputation?
would. Just because I don't really want my name attached to something like that. Like it's.
Is that stuff that like Jesse taught you? Because I know Jesse's very
Yeah.
he doesn't really go with just everybody.
Yeah, be smart about the bookings, because like if I end up wrestling Mr. California, I've heard horror stories about that guy. So I don't want to end up getting hurt by some random dude I don't know, or
Yeah, he's known for hurting people.
Really?
Yeah, it's just
He's
not
that
a
bad.
like I haven't heard one positive story.
Wow.
We'll talk to some people about this.
I have.
Earlier when you mentioned that, you're getting back into the wrestling that you focus on your dream on after your your niece that got the
I do it for her.
Yeah, you're doing it for her. So what's next you'd like to accomplish? Like, is there something out of the state you like to wrestle for? Is there a company out there?
I'm actually hoping to wrestle out of country pretty soon. I don't know how soon it can be, but I'm hopefully within this year I'm able to
actually wrestle like in tours or
Yeah.
Eli and be part of a concert or something.
Oh, come on.
we
love you, Eli.
You can't really bag on that, because
Now he's getting paid. He's getting paid.
I'd kill to be in his spot,
Hell yeah, to
I'd
travel,
kill.
to
That's
travel.
awesome, They're
I love you, Eli.
getting to wrestle, so
To travel all that stuff he's been traveling is
yeah,
pretty awesome.
Everyone would kill to be in their spot, as much as they don't say. But I like I said, I'd like to go to Mexico on a tour, Japan too. I think Mexico would probably be like the first stop. Just since the last time that I went, I didn't really go deep in. I just stayed in Mexicali and trained there, because I was kind of scared, young at the time.
So you haven't been back to Mexico since?
I've wrestled there a
Oh,
few
okay.
times. I actually,
Recently.
recently,
Was it better this time?
oh yeah,
Better experience,
I mean, the Mexicali crowd, I always loved it. I loved it over there, because even though they hated me, they're the most into it, Like they eat it up over there. And I was there in January with a few EWF guys, with Jacob Tarasso and Tyree, who's actually one of our rookies, who's been doing an amazing job this year. Wrestled in Mexico his first year, and that's also one of my most memorable experiences. I don't know if it is for them, but right before the match, when they all got there, they thought they were gonna wrestle each other, American workers. But when we got there, they're like, "No, we want you 3 versus 3 Mexicali guys. We need USA versus Mexico." And they're like,
It's like throwing you under the bus.
yeah, they're like, "Oh, what's gonna happen? I don't know what's gonna do." And I was like, "Chill, you guys, we got this. Don't worry, we got these guys. I trained, I'll translate in the middle of the match."
Did you wear a
We'll beat 'em
Donald, did
up.
you wear a Donald Trump shirt?
Nah, I didn't go prepared. I thought we were gonna wrestle each other. It's like, oh, whoa, we're wrestling Mexico guys. But then it was such a memorable experience for me because of how scared they were going into it. And not only did they not think they were going to do good, but the match was amazing. And the rookie Tyree was the one that hit the finish. She's the one that pinned the guy to win the match. So it was like, and seeing them on the corners with their hands up and how happy they were and how the crowd was just eating us up, it was just like, see, I told you guys, we had this the whole time.
I have a message from Justin Borden for you.
Justin Borden. What's up,
He told me
Justin?
to tell you to go back to wrestling in video stores. You want to tell us about
that? Yeah.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. That was actually like my third, fourth and fifth match with Jesse, where it was the first one. I guess the guy paid for the show or whatever. But the first one was in the parking lot of the video store, and it's like in San Bernardino, and probably one of the worst parts of town. And the worst part is that it was a free show, since it was a parking lot. So you see all these homeless people come up and just sit down, and it was just like, whoa! And it was like my third or fourth time wrestling, you know. So I was like, "What's going on?" And then, but then the second time that they had the show, it was actually inside of the video store. Like they just moved all the movies to the side, and the ring was squat in the middle, and the locker room was in the adult section.
Bam!
I can imagine
I
everybody
guess you
putting
could
on
rub
those
one out
tricks.
before you get into the ring. Take out all that frustration.
And we all played a little rib on old EWF that Dave the Bruiser, if you know who he is. We opened up his bag and they just put all the gay videos.
Oh, man.
They put all the gay videos in there and closed it up, and then we never heard what happened.
That's
so.
how they caught Butcher, right?
That's
Yeah.
it. No, that's how they caught Roy.
Oh.
Roy would have had a field day though. Thank God he's not here.
Roy loves it.
Roy would have loved all those videos.
Yeah.
Damn, we should have said
Yeah.
that.
That was a while back, though. That was a
So
while
no more
back.
video stories?
No more videos.
Was Justin a ref or was he training at the time?
I think he was a ref. I think he was a ref at the time.
How do you? I know the ceiling couldn't have been much higher than ours, right?
It was enough to fit the ring. You couldn't stand on the top rope, but the ring was inside. You
How
know,
do you get?
Wow.
How do
You couldn't do dives or nothing?
through the middle. You know.
How do you do that? How do you wrestle without getting on top of the ropes and diving over?
That's what I kind of liked about shows like that, you know. And it's happened a few times at EWF, and I'm sure other places too, where like it happened like last year where we were supposed to run at a VFW or something outside, but it started raining, so we ran inside. And literally the corner was like this far from the top. So not only could we not hit the top rope, is we couldn't suplex each other. We could like, you know, so it was just like this is where the wrestling mind
That's
comes
where
into play.
that amateur wrestling
Yeah.
came in, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why video stores don't exist.
I'm not tall enough for wrestling shows.
Not tall enough for
I
wrestling.
feel like watching Clerks tonight.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
See what you did? You got him watching.
Hey,
Clerks.
Clerks is the best, dude.
Yeah.
Here's a question. I go back to where I was saying about you know, you're pretty popular amongst your peers. I mean, how do you feel about that? Because I was watching your whole today on Facebook, and I see all these guys commenting and everything. You don't see that very often amongst wrestlers because I think it's probably a competitive sport, and like I say, wrestling seems to be like high school. So how have you managed to keep good relationships with all these guys where they pretty much, you know, they love you?
You know, I don't know. I never really stopped and looked at it that way. But like you said, when I was saying today, all the support I was getting from not only my family and friends, but from all my peers in wrestling, it was like, wow, you know, like it felt good. Like, and there's a saying that Jesse's told me, and it's stuck with me my whole life, is if you take care of the business will take care of you. And that's probably been the most true saying in my whole life, because wrestling's given me a lot more than just fun. It's given me a lot of things that I wouldn't have had without it, you know? So every time I run into like a peer or locker room, someone in the locker room, or I wrestle someone else, I may be a cheater or whatever in the ring, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, right? But I try to spread my knowledge to everybody because I don't like wrestling. I love wrestling. It's like what my life has been about and what I've dedicated like more than a third of my life to at this point. I've been wrestling 9 years and I'm 25, so you know, like I do what I can to help everybody so they can help the business be what it used to be. And it feels like that's what's happening because there's so many guys that are just pushing hard. Like, it's also one of the reasons why I started working out so much too, because you see, I saw guys coming up like Archimedes and Andy Brown and Adrian Quest from EWF and Douglas James and Brody's from Santino's and Mike Camden and all these guys for SoCal Pro, like who are those two guys? The two white guys, Ryan Walker and
Two white guys.
Like a whole bunch.
I wrestled them before. I feel bad. I don't remember the other one's name, but they're awesome wrestlers, you know, and they're all in shape. They're not just doing it to do it. Like, they're doing it because they love it, and it's making me love it more, you know. Yeah. Seeing all these hungry rookies, like, let's watch this young old man step up to the plate and show them what's up, you know. So I mean, it's inspiring seeing how hungry these young guys are. These young guys are, even though most of them are probably older than me.
I have two young guys. One is at Santino's training, and then one is training at EWF.
Oh, I think I know who.
Yeah, and I always advise them. And I want to see if you agree. I tell them, they're only 17. One's 17, I think. One's 15.
Mm-hmm.
The one that's at EWF is 15. And I always tell them,
EWF?
yeah, or the wrestling school.
Okay.
Right?
He's training.
Yeah, he's training. I always tell them, do high school wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
and don't just stick to professional wrestling, because I go, one, you can learn a lot more, and then two, you have a backup plan so you can maybe get yourself into college. Would you tend to agree with that?
Yeah,
or would you say?
that probably would have been a smarter idea for me. But
Ask Kurt Angle.
in retrospect, that probably would have been a smarter idea. Because in
America Alpha.
in 6th and 7th grade, like I said, I was in amateur wrestling, and I felt like I was pretty good. I didn't win first place at most tournaments, but I'd win second or third. I'd place at most. But just as soon as I joined Jesse's, I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. And then I was trying to do both at the same time, but I just couldn't, because it was like amateur wrestling was for high school. It was like, you have to practice and and I was like, well, what about pro wrestling? Like, nah, screw that. And I was like, screw you guys then.
So when you did the pro wrestling, and those kids that were with you in amateur wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
and are they still wrestling fans now, or any of them were wrestling now? Maybe from that little your team back then.
And the amateurs?
Mm-hmm. When you were in like 5th, 6th grade, 7th grade?
I know there was this girl named Samantha Lopez, who she was like probably like the best like girl wrestler in California, I think. I remember her placing pretty high, and I know she ended up doing it for college for a while, but I don't know if she stuck to it. But other than that, like most of the other guys I had dropped out. Most of the other guys that were there dropped out.
Do you talk to any of them still?
I have a group of close friends from that I've known since like elementary and middle school, like my little squad, my like homies for life, Jerry, Pablo, Albert, Chris, and Anthony, and I think that's all of them. And Caesar, my bad Caesar.
Oh, poor Caesar.
But yeah,
I hate you now.
a couple, and my friend Alex, a couple of them joined Jesse's school with me, but they liked wrestling, but they didn't love it like I did, and they're like in it for like a month. They're like, all right, peace, bro. Like, these bumps are too much. And I was like, bye guys. Hopefully you come back, But they're still like my best friends till the end, and they're always there for me no matter what. So it's like it feels really good to have a group of friends like that like I've had for like my whole life pretty much.
Now you did a couple cameos, right, for Lucha Underground?
Yeah, I did quite a few actually.
Way to ruin shit. Way to spoil it. We were.
Please.
Funny story, because when he did the first one, right? Robert Lopez was there. You remember Robert Lopez?
Remind me, man.
So he's all like, "Hey man, you're Fidel Bravo, right?" And he's supposed to like, "Hey man, go to EWF too."
Hey, can I take a picture?
And
Can you sign this? I'm like, bro, please wait, please, bro. Trying to get signed here.
So we got
watching
you
right
on
now.
Lucha Underground TV, wrestling in the ring?
I mean, I don't
Maybe.
know. I mean, hopefully, I don't want to say maybe because I insinuate something. I'd say hopefully, because I'd love to wrestle there because the wrestling there is really, really intense and action-packed, and they have EMTs waiting around the corner, so I'm ready to wrestle like that. There's someone waiting to pick my body up,
I'm going to spoil something. I'm going to keep on my spoiler. You were in the match with Hernandez.
Yeah. The
I know that I'm
lumberjack
going
match.
to get hate mail for this.
So
Can you please explain
You're not
to
gonna
me-
have the signing, huh?
Can you please explain to me why Sean hit him so fucking soft?
Wow.
This was his chance. Hot Tub is on this show. He's in the fucking match. I'm like, oh, this is a fan's dream. You get to go down there. And he goes like this.
Maybe he didn't want to, The song.
You freaking laid into him.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure it looked good, But I mean,
I wonder, when you guys rehearse, did he ask questions? Can I hit him hard? I would have done.
well,
something like
we
that.
were told to swing as hard as we wanted, just not at his face or his balls.
Okay.
I would've gone for the balls,
I mean,
too.
God bless Sean. He's such a nice guy. I could just imagine he's like, oh. I like seeing him wrestle. I don't want to hit him. You know, I love you, Sean. You know,
guys
like
give him
every
shit
show we
after?
do, we always talk shit.
I don't mean to. I'm just wondering why. Did you guys give him shit?
No, I didn't. For me, it was a really surreal moment being in front. That's another really memorable moment for me, being in front of that crowd. Because even though I wasn't technically in the match, I was like part of it, and it was just really like a really thunderous cloud. So when I came back, I was kind of just on an adrenaline. Like, yes, yes,
Wait,
yes,
wasn't
yes.
wasn't Justin a ref there, right? He was. Yeah, he was. It was Justin, Elias, and
Yeah.
Knox, right?
Now Justin wants me to tell you, how could you forget he was your ref when he was your ref for like your whole first year?
Oh. Not my whole first year.
I'll read you what else he said after
let me see.
because
How
I
come
don't
you're
know
not
if you want me to put this online.
How
but
come you're not texting me?
the last message.
While he's reading that,
He just said something killed all your memories.
Damn, Justin, that's mean. I'm sorry, Justin. I'm sorry. I mean, of course he was there if he brought up the video store, right?
let me just say something. In 5 minutes, the PWG tickets. So go get your ticket and support Justin, okay?
Yes.
Support
I will
Justin.
if
Sorry,
Fuck you, Justin.
If
I
somebody
love you, Justin. Sorry.
The PWG crowd loves him out there, by the way.
Oh, I bet they do.
Yeah, they
But
love him.
look, Sean is buying PWG tickets.
What?
He's
Wow, I'm
online.
surprised.
Who was your first? Who have you wrestled that you're just amazed that you've been in the ring with right now? The one opponent that you've had that you're just like, wow, I can't believe I wrestled. And who is still left that you want to? That is on your list that you haven't.
It's hard to say, man, because there's a lot of guys that I've wrestled that, like,
No shirt.
uh,
Oh, the shirt.
there's a lot of guys that I've wrestled that I didn't expect to wrestle. Like when I wrestled Brian Kendrick, that was a little dream for me because I was a cruiserweight loving guy, and even training with them, it's still unbelievable to me. And when I wrestled Adam Pearce too, and I wrestled Colt Cabana and Davari too. So it's just looking at all those, I'm just kind of shocked that I got to wrestle with them. Even when I teamed up with Brian Kendrick at the La Bulla show a few months ago, I showed up to the show just to watch, and Mongo goes up to me and says, hey, can you team up in the main event with Brian Kendrick versus Los Luchas? It's like, can I? Can I please? So it's like, those have all been incredible moments for me. But, I mean, there's so many guys I want to wrestle. I mean, Tajiri would probably be like my dream match, number one dream match, because like I've always loved his style, and I've kind of tried to mimic a few things that he does, not copy him completely, because I'm trying to respect him, But Tajiri would be cool. Going with Brian Kendrick 1-on-1 would be awesome. Wrestling Rocky and Cortez. I mean, honestly, everybody. I want to wrestle Mariachi Loco, everyone from Lucha Underground, Phoenix, Mr. Cisco, like. I've wrestled a lot of people in SoCal, but there's so many that I haven't yet, and I want to tie up with them all,
How about Douglas?
Douglas James, ooh.
Look at the pizza man.
Pound for pound.
Man,
I can't
sure.
wait for the day they give me Douglas James. Man.
Oh, yeah.
Take a big scoop of pre-workout right before. Hope you're watching, Doug.
How about Limelight?
Ooh, Limelight too.
He was giving you shit today.
I hope he's wearing his Seth Rollins gear too.
Oh,
I hope he's wearing the Seth Rollins gear too, so I can just rip that top off and wah.
Damn.
I got big hands, buddy.
Hernandez hasn't forgotten the guy who hit him in the balls.
That wasn't me though. That wasn't me though.
Oh, that's funny.
Limelight and his Seth Rollins. Hey, it could have been worse. He could have worn Spider-Man gear.
Hey, but that's Spider-Man.
Hey, that's a nice thing.
That is a nice thing.
That's an awesome thing that he does. If I could do a bunch of cool flips, I'd do the same thing. I've thought about it, but I was just like, I'm gonna be like that guy in the video where he does a backflip and knocks himself out. I'm gonna be that Spider-Man that like ruins a child's life. So probably better that I don't go that route.
Oh, now WWE. Is it still an option for you?
I want it to be, that's why I've been getting in the best shape that I can and training with Kendrick, who's in WWE right now, I mean, I'm trying to learn, and Jesse sent a lot of guys over there. I'm keeping my ears as open as they can be right now, and my eyes to try to learn everything that I can and do stuff that I haven't in the past. And I feel like I've been doing a good job of that lately, adding new moves and just more strengths to my repertoire, my wrestling repertoire.
Now, if AWS comes back, tomorrow. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I'm ready, Bart. Call me up, Bart. You know I'm ready. You know I'm ready, Bart.
If he were to book you on the show, who would you want? Who would you want your first opponent to be at AWS?
If I got to pick,
Yeah, like if you got to pick, if Bart came to you today and said, "Hey, we have a show next week. I'll give you anybody you want." SoCal, who do you take?
That's a really hard question. But I mean, even though I've wrestled them before, I feel like they bring out the best in me. I'd say it'd be a tie between Andy Brown and Adrian Quest, the tag team champions at EWF, coincidentally, because Adrian Quest, he started at Jesse's school when he was like 12 years old.
Wow.
And no one else said, "Hey, you started younger than I did." So of course, like I can't say I really trained him, but I helped him out along the way. So and then as he was getting older, we'd always wrestle at the school, and it's always an incredible experience when I wrestle him. Like he gets so much better. It's just like, whoa, like calm down. I'm trying to keep up here, but I love wrestling him and Andy Brown too. Like I mentioned earlier, he hasn't been wrestling so long, but it seems like he's been wrestling forever, you know, and he's the EWF champion right now, something that guys that have been wrestling for a long time like me and a lot of others haven't done in their whole career. And he's beating some pretty big names along the way, so I'm pretty proud of him, and I'm proud that I get to train alongside him because he's at Jesse's school a lot, and we go to there together most of the time. So I can't say that I teach him because I've learned a lot from him. So I'd say we learn from each other a lot, and that's how it is at Jesse's. We all teach each other, so it's like
I just think it's crazy how much respect people have for you. I haven't seen that many people share our podcast like they shared yours. Like a lot of people shared it. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, I won't lie. I mean, I asked a few people if they could share it, but I mean, the fact that they did it.
Yeah, the fact that they did it.
The way you put this is my first time.
Because I've told some of my friends to like share it. They're like, yeah, for what?
Yeah,
and like
that's happened with me too. Sometimes like people like won't share something that I think they're gonna share, but for this it was like I had like 30 people share.
Man, even the big Russian, Sasha shared.
Yeah, even Sasha.
Sasha's.
He doesn't like being nice to me in public because I'm pretty mean to him too because he's pretty old, Like, but for his age, he's tearing it up way more than most of these young guys are, and I love teaming with him. Love you, buddy.
Grizzle the bit.
See,
Grizzle the bit.
That's what I like about him. That he's like, it's like, well, he's a more filtered version of Ed, but he just talks all kinds of shit.
First called out Eli, which I love you, Eli.
Yeah, Eli's awesome. Thank you.
Then it was Limelight with the Rollins gear.
That was him.
But now you called Sasha an old man?
I called Sasha an old man. He's a geezer. He's a strong geezer, though. He's an active geezer. That's why I have him on my side, I always make sure to pack the insulin right before the tag team match in case his blood sugar goes down. Hey, but like I said, every time me and Sasha kick some ass, man, you can watch all of the matches me and Sasha have had, and all of them will keep you on the edge of your seats. And we've faced some pretty big names. We went toe-to-toe with Reno Scum before. We wrestled PP Ray, too.
How do you like that new group Hate?
It's a thing, It's a pretty big dominant group, and it's surprising that they spread to EWF. I didn't expect that, but I like that, because it's something new, and I'm sure a lot of the fans or wrestlers didn't expect that either. And I have a lot of respect for all the people in that group. Like Ray Rosas, he started a little bit after that I did, but he did it a lot more in his rookie years than I did in mine, and I've had a lot of respect for him. I've gotten to wrestle with him once. We were a tag team in Oregon, undefeated tag team in Oregon.
There's wrestling in Oregon.
Yeah, I wrestled Oregon for like a whole year.
Damn. Oh, really?
Yeah, for WC.
Yeah.
Jeff Manning's West Coast
Mikey
Wrestling
wrestled up
Connection.
there, right?
Yeah, he took my spot. Mikey. But yeah, I was there for a good 2 years, and I won. That's where I won my only singles title at this point. I was the WC Lightning Division champion for almost a year, for 8 months. Lightning Division.
And you've been everywhere, Mexicali, Oregon,
California. I wrestled in Vegas. I wrestled in Ohio too.
Damn.
Ohio. Wow.
Ohio.
Damn. If you go back to Ohio, can you bring me a Cleveland Indians?
For sure. That was a one-time thing.
Championship shirt.
Cavs championship. No, not
You need to not win a championship soon. Sorry.
that was a one-time thing with rest in peace Cincinnati Red, another person that helped me along the way a lot. He gave me my first matches. Like one of my first matches was against Luke Cox. He's
Luke
from
Cox.
New Orleans. Yeah, awesome guy. Big fucking arms, that guy. And he had just got out of WSX at the time, and that was something that Red gave me. And Red helped me out at AWS too. He helped talk to Bart for me, and he gave me promos when I was there. And I really miss him. That was probably around the point when I started going into my little dark phase of life with Red passing away, and then shortly after Schmo, because they were two really good friends of mine. Even though I didn't hang out with them all the time, whatever, they were always like really good friends to me. And I can't remember meeting either of them because it just felt like we were like really good friends from the beginning, And I miss them both a lot, but there's not a match that I have that I don't think about either of them. And I still have the red sweatband in my case for Red, and I wear it from time to time when I wrestle.
I know that was a hard month?
Yeah, man, it was very hard.
Let me ask you: are we gonna see you when are we gonna see you in a dance off with Mariachi Loco?
Ooh, book it and it's there, man. Book it and it's there.
I don't know.
You watching?
And one of my
he's not watching. He's not watching because it's on here.
In one of my first times wrestling for Dave Marquez, I had a dance off with Disco Machine. So I got some moves.
Oh damn! I'll pay to see that one. I'm gonna have to have a wrestling show just for that.
See, now you gotta do it.
Yeah, I've been wanting to wrestle Mariachi for a long time. So
Mariachi, we gotta get you guys booked somewhere. You gotta talk to some people out here, somewhere in LA. Shit.
You're right. Somewhere.
Maybe.
HB down the street.
I know AWS has Bart has a big announcement next week. So.
Ooh. Bravo versus
I know
Loco. Bravo
You know what it
versus
is?
Yes, I
Loco.
do.
All right. Don't say.
You know what it is? Want me to spoil it?
Spoil it.
No.
I'll
care.
spoil it right now. We're opening a porn store right here.
Uh-huh.
No one
That's
buys
cool.
porn. No one buys porn.
Oh, well, there
That's
goes
so-
Bart. Forget it. There goes the idea.
You know what would work if you open one of those video arcades? I heard they're a thing.
You would have to be the bar ones.
Yeah, the adult video store right there on Alameda shut down because of Pornhub. So
Wow.
it's like Redbox.
Yeah, you just stream porn. Like, that's what I do. Like, my phone's full of it. Like, I go on nudevista,
That's the
nudevista.com.
thing to do with porn now.
That's like the Google search of porn, dude. You search by models, and it gives you all the different websites where the free...
Search my model.
Watch the Sunny stuff too a bit.
That's not Sunny stuff. It's
Before
pretty
we
good.
wrap
Did you
up.
watch the Sunny porn?
No, I did not.
How'd you not watch the Sunny porn?
I don't want to see a 50-year-old getting.
She looks pretty
screwed.
good. Well, she looks all right. I mean, she took it up the ass.
Look at him.
She just couldn't position herself right.
Too many,
Well,
too many knee bumps.
Wow.
Before we wrap up real quick, who besides yourself and besides Andy Brown, but outside of EWF, who do you think are some of the upcoming SoCal talents that you
Speedy
definitely
too.
have to watch?
Yeah, Speedy too. He's been around. I think almost as long as I have, and he seems to be tearing it up a lot too. It looked
Yeah.
like he had a slowdown too, and he's debuting at all these places. I think he's on OWA this weekend, and he just started wrestling at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and he got to wrestle Johnny Yuma, and he beat him. And I was like, wow. I mean, I haven't gotten to wrestle Yuma, so I'm a little jealous about that. And I don't know why they're booking Espiritu and not me, but
Probably.
I'll get
Prettier
there.
hair, prettier hair.
Pretty hair, maybe. Screw that guy though. I'll slap him with my ponytail.
Book that match.
Before
Somebody.
him, Douglas James, Brody, Mike Camden. I mean, I can name everybody. Sasha's old, but he's still upcoming to me.
Oh,
he's
God.
doing
Poor
new
Sasha.
stuff. Everyone from Adrian Quest, Archimedes, Tyree from EWF. Those are two guys you really need to watch out for too. I haven't talked about them too much, but Archimedes, Tyree, and Super Beetle are there three guys that you're really gonna have to watch out for once they start wrestling more. The amazing Super Beetle.
You didn't mention Seth Rollins Jr.
Oh, Danny Limelight too. I mean, as much trash talk as I like to throw, he's got a lot of talent. You know, he could do a lot of stuff that I can't.
Star.
He's a shining star.
He could do a lot of stuff that I can't. And then him and Gino's tag team. Oh, Seville. Gino Rivera, also another
Forget
great
my
guy.
boy Gino.
Yeah, my bad.
I love Gino.
He's my boy too. He's a cool guy. Their tag team's awesome. I hope to wrestle them one day. Me and Tasha, the Revolution versus the Primos Rivera sounds like it'd be an awesome match too.
Yeah.
Or like a Puerto Rican Chihuahuas.
Justin Borden said that him and Nestor are a better tag team than SoCal and Inferno.
They probably are.
Fucking
The
Justin.
SoCal Crazy is another guy that I need to wrestle again because it's been a good 7 years that I haven't gotten to wrestle him.
We gotta get you against Mariachi Loco before anything else.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
SoCal crazy, man. SoCal. I think I've never seen a bad SoCal man. He's really good.
Yeah, I'd love to wrestle Mariachi Loco. That guy's been very kind to me since day one that I've met him, and he's given me opportunities that I didn't expect him to give me since I didn't really know him. But that's another one of those things where when I met him, it already felt like we were really good friends, and we talk from time to time, and he's always been an awesome character to me, and I've never really done anything to deserve him being so kind to me. So I'm very thankful for everything he's done for me.
I was gonna wrap it up, but I have one real good question for you. How do you deal with wrestling fans like him? I'm just curious.
You know,
It's an honest question. He's very front, and he doesn't hold anything back, and you know who he is. Everybody knows who he is. So how do you wrestle with? Do you get more nervous wrestling?
Not really, because to be honest, before I started wrestling, I was that fan where I was fuck you. And just, I wouldn't hold anything back either. I'd be the guy that they're like, hey, if you say that one more time, we're gonna kick you out. I'd be like, too bad, So I mean, I was that fan too, so I kind of like seeing that passion in wrestling. Even though a lot of other wrestlers get mad, it's like, hey, they're paying their money and going crazy. I'd rather than do that than sit there and be quiet the whole time.
Who's harder to impress, him or Sean? Because Sean does the hot tub review, but he just gives you a fucking blast you on Facebook, and you suck.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, for a team, I don't know. It seems kind of even, I had to convince him to come to EWF for a while. He's like, nah. And finally he went. He's like, all right, I liked it. And Deshaun was almost the same thing. And every time, like, what do you think of the show? Like, he never says he doesn't like it, but he won't say he likes it.
He's too polite to
Yeah,
say.
watching you, Sean.
Do you guys listen?
I know what's
though?
up.
Do you guys actually? I mean, not to put anybody on blast, but do you take the time to say okay, if he puts on there, fuck, I went to UEW today, that fucking show sucked, and the reason I'm picking on UEW is because you always say it sucks.
Yet I still go, right?
yeah, you still go.
Well, because I could drink.
They don't mind.
I could drink beer there, and it's like $10. I mean,
But do you listen to that, or let's say he goes on and says, I had a fucking garbage match today, and then do you go on Hot Tub's show and he criticizes? Do you guys actually listen to the criticism, or do you guys just ignore it?
I listen to it, but I take it with a grain of salt, because it's just one fan, If I go out there and the whole crowd was going crazy, but just Ed was sitting there with the finger up his ass the whole time, then
I'd be smiling.
Then it's just. God damn it, Ed. It's just one fan, So I mean, there's more to the masses, If I go out there and everyone's chanting, "This is boring, this is boring," it's like, okay, maybe I need to rethink things. But if it's just one or two guys out there, it's always gonna be haters. You always gotta just let the hate rub off.
Team Tacos versus Bravo Loco.
Book it, like I said. Book it.
You want to plug anything? We're gonna have to do part 2 because I'm sure we have a lot to talk about. But since I hear our podcast should only go an hour,
we should probably bring more EWF guys. I think I really like to talk to Andy Brown.
Yeah, Andy Brown, Adrian Quest, Archimedes, Tyree, all those guys.
Ryan Taylor.
Andy Brown promised me at the last AWS show he was gonna come on this damn show. So Andy Brown, if you're listening, I'm waiting for your damn message.
He told me he was gonna listen
for you to be down here. So I'm gonna give you till 8:30 to message me and book a date. If not, I'm gonna send Ed to go out to your show and then put your ass on blast on Facebook. And Ed will do it proudly. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, to plug a few things, last thing, I'd just like to plug EWF School one last time. I mean, it doesn't always get the best reputation, I guess. I don't know why. A lot of people like to talk down on it, but like I mentioned before, a lot of big names came from there. If not, they visited there, and we're always putting out top talent. And I mean, and I'm not talking down on the Santino school either, because they have an amazing school too, and they put out amazing talent. Same with Kendrick's class and the other in the Hollywood school too, where I trained. But I'd just like to throw out wrestling schools in general and throw this out to the younger guys, where you should never stop training. I mean, because I did that for a while, and that's when I probably got at my worst. Like, when you're doing good, that means that's when you should be training more and more. And if you feel like you're not learning where you are, maybe go to a different school. I mean, I'm always learning at Jesse's, but I always love getting different schools of thought, because that's how your mind expands. So that's why I'm training with Jesse and Kendrick. I train with Kendrick once a week and with Jesse twice a week. So that's what I like to throw out there. Like, never, all you guys that just started wrestling, don't think just because you're wrestling, just because they put a belt on you or whatever, that you could stop training, that you could take it easy. Like, you have to keep on training, and you have to keep on putting in the work if you want to make it to the top.
I never understood why wrestlers do. A lot of wrestlers do that.
Yeah, a lot of
Well, you could tell the difference, like, when you see their matches, like, and who still trains and who doesn't train.
Yeah.
Some guys repeated match. Like, I don't forget some matches. I'm like, oh, dude, that's the same shit you did last time.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
I got nothing better to do, so I watch and criticize these people work.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'd say. Just, I don't like it when people are at a point where they think they need to stop training. I feel like everyone should continue training, even if, like, you can't go every week. I mean, I've been lucky and been able to go 3 times a week, but I mean, even if you could go once a week or once every other week or whatever, it's just something, as long as you're putting in the work.
You guys better listen. Make sure your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Bravo to Fidel for Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat.
For all the single ladies out there.
For all the ladies out there.
And that doesn't include you.
Hey, you should have seen my snaps, dude. I had the chick down.
Yeah, those are mine too. I think I'm attracting more guys to my Snapchat. I'm just using all the girl filters. It's so fun to take selfies with.
You're gonna have a bunch of guys
Yeah,
following.
that's where all my sisters come out in me when I'm filters in the Snapchat, so inner girl comes out in me.
I saw Sean's inner girl today.
Oh, the dragon?
Yeah.
I did a whole, like, video thing of it.
Oh.
Like, I did all kinds of stuff. It was cool, though, because people were all saying I look pretty.
Facebook,
Fidel Bravo.
Fidel Bravo, Instagram, Twitter.
Bravo to Fidel. Bravo number 2 Fidel.
All right. Well, let's give him a round of applause. Thank you again.
Thank you guys.
We gotta do part 2, like I said.
Yeah, I enjoy that. I enjoy that
We'll
very
do part
much.
2. Hopefully, it wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't. I had a lot of fun.
You gotta sit next to Ed. You gotta deal with me. You gotta deal with customers.
I know, right?
See, store's always open. Damn jerks.
So come down.
For that
guys,
commented on the
shirts.
video right now, why there's an 8x10 picture up there? Because Cody Rhodes is gonna be here on July 16th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Cody Rhodes and Brandy
For a signing?
for a signing.
Nice.
July 16th. You can go to WrestlingGuyStore.com for more information. And then, like I said, tomorrow, Friday, whatever tomorrow is, the 24th. We have Johnny Mundo, Taya, Jack Evans, PJ Black. They'll all be here, 7 p.m., 9 p.m. We were hoping to get another signing confirmed, but we're just waiting for one guy to talk.
But remember,
Don't
even
be
if you
surprised.
took individual pictures with these people at Lucha Underground, don't think like you have the whole thing. Because you never have them in gimmick, and this is the time we're going to have them in gimmick.
Yeah,
All
this is the
4 of
time
them.
You're gonna have them in gimmick, so.
El
Give me
Compa will be
colors.
here.
Yeah,
Chingo
Compa
sí.
should be here. Before we wrap up, though, I got a little something here for Danny, so he knows we were thinking of him right now. So I'm gonna skip the ad and then I'll get it going because damn YouTube has their ad. Here you go. You should come after. Bye, Danny.
Oh.